things are going pretty well for the Sugar Kings so far. 4 wins in 5 games, tied for second place in the Midwestern Conference standings. What can you say about the group so far and how they've performed?
I mean, we have a great group of guys in the room, and we came out and lost our first game of the season. That was a real wake-up call because we ended up winning our last game of the preseason, and I think we were riding a little bit of a high, and then we went into Kitchener's Arena and they woke us up, and since then we've been on the same page and we've been rolling, and we want to keep that going into Friday against Stratford.
What have you seen so far from the group on the ice? What are some of the things that you like? Sure, you didn't have an outstanding preseason, but we talked about this before, Damian. The preseason doesn't matter. The games don't count, so therefore it's fairly irrelevant. But when you look at how the team started the season, sure, you lost your opening game, but at the end of the day, you guys have clicked pretty well here the last 4 games.
Absolutely, yeah. We've, like I said, we woke up after that first game, and since then we've been scoring a lot of goals. In our last 4 games, I believe we have 27 goals. So, I mean, our offense has been there, and we've had great goaltending as well to keep us in games because it's tough to play a full 60-minute game going. You're not going to be in the O zone the whole night, and when we're in our D zone, it's great to have 2 awesome goalies in net that can bail us out when we need it. So.
You talk about the offense, and one name that I noticed right away was a 16-year-old, Brody Waters. Right now, again, early in the season, but he's got 9 points in 5 games as a 16-year-old. Stepping into this league, that is no easy feat because there's always an adjustment period for the players as they go from wherever they were to GOJHL hockey. But it seems like Brody has just fit in really well. He's getting a lot of assists. I think he's got 1 goal and 8 assists, so he's distributing the puck, obviously making a difference. What have you seen from him as a 16-year-old? Because to come in and have an impact like that right away, that's impressive to me.
Yeah, it is. It is tough to adapt to junior hockey, and I think he got his toes wet a little bit last year. He was with us in the playoffs against Caledonia, and like you said, he's doing a great job this year. He's playing on our top line with 2 great players, Mason McMahon and Jeremy Goodwin. So they're doing a good job of giving him the puck, and he's looking for them. They're getting open for him, so that line's been doing great for us. I think they've scored most of our goals, and Brody Waters also on the power play, so he's doing a good job there finding space and getting open to make plays.
And it was McMahon last night who scored a couple of goals. He beat the Brampton Bombers by a score of 4-2. I can't wait to see this. You talk about the offense playing as well as it is and finding the back of the net, but I can't wait to see until Zach Cameron and Jeremy Goodwin, and McMahon scored a couple last night, and Curtis Goodwin steps in. This is going to be a pretty prolific offense. And you know what? We talked in the preseason, Damian, about how strong your back end is. You got some veteran guys back there. When you look at this group and you evaluate it, and again, maybe we're jumping the gun, it's 5 games into the season, but you'd rather be 4-1 than 1-4. Can you describe the potential that maybe you see in the early part of the season here? Because it is a good start, and you look at everything, the way it's sort of shaping up and it's setting itself up, you don't know where this team could end up, but it's certainly the way you wanted to get going, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Well, last time we spoke, I told you our goal this year was to win a championship, and we've come out to a great start. Last year, the Sugar Kings started the season 0-4, so everyone who was here last year knows it's tough to dig yourselves out of a hole. So it was very important that we came out to a good start this year, and we've put ourselves in a good position 5 games into the season to be a top team in this league, and I think we sent a message so far. But like you said, it's only been 5 games, and it's a 50-game season, right? So we've just started.
Yeah, you've definitely just scratched the surface. When you look at some of the other teams that you've seen so far, obviously Waterloo has been outstanding. They have a 5-1 record. They're currently in first place in the Midwestern Conference standings. Stratford's played well. You're tied with them as well. Of the teams that you've seen, can you sort of size up how you believe things are going to shake out this year? Because I think that's what everybody wonders from year to year is who are the top teams going to be? And for you, I think you can give us a pretty good perspective based on the fact of obviously you're a veteran overage guy in this league. You know what makes up a quality hockey team. And when you evaluate the rest of the conference, how do you see things shaking out?
I believe that the top teams from last year, it'll be around the same picture as it was last year. Last year, if I'm not wrong, it was Listowel, Stratford, Elmira, and Waterloo were the top 4 teams, and we saw Stratford and Listowel in the preseason. I know things changed from the preseason, but they're both good teams again this year, and there's been a lot of talk about Waterloo, and obviously you can't underestimate the Dutchmen either. So it's pretty tight. It'll be a pretty tight race amongst the top 5 teams, and there's a lot of talent. There's a lot of talent in those top 5 teams. So there'll be some great hockey to watch, and it'll be a tight race for first place.
Isn't that what makes this league awesome? There's so much parity, and on any given night, you never know who's going to win. Like we talked about, the Siskins have got a lot of buzz and had a lot of people talking about them, and then they lost their first game over the weekend to the Brampton Bombers. And I think that's the thing about this league, and you can explain it better than I can, obviously. You have to come to play every single night, because regardless of who you're facing, it's a quality opponent. Do you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely. There's great talent on every team, and if you come out sleeping one night, anything can happen, right? I mean, last year we finished in 3rd place, and we went all the way to the Sutherland Cup, the semifinals, but we lost to lower place teams like Brampton and Guelph last year. So I mean, anything can happen. Like, we're all junior hockey players. Everybody's 16 to 20 years old, right? So, and everybody's in this league for a reason. So there's, like I said, there's good talent everywhere, and if you don't come out to play, and anything can happen. There's, yeah.
We're chatting with Damian Figueira, the captain of the Elmira Sugar Kings. They are back in action this Friday night on the road in Stratford at the Almond Arena, facing the Warriors. Game time there is 7:30, and then the Sugar Kings are home on Sunday night to the Kitchener Dutchmen. That game facing off at 7 o'clock at the Dan Snyder Arena. Sunday night, the usual Sugar Kings home night. They also play some games at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Sundays. You've been in this league now, Damian, for a little over a year and a bit. People always say, what a league. And, you know, half of it's in jest, but it is a phenomenal league. What do you like most? You probably didn't know a lot about it when you ended up coming to the Sugar Kings, but now you're a captain in this league, and I know how much you enjoy playing in this league. What are some of the best things in your mind about the GOJHL?
The GOJHL is great. We have, there's great fan support everywhere. I mean, I've been around. In Elmira, we have great fans. Like, our community support is it's not comparable to anywhere else I've played, and it's great. We play a lot against a lot of other small towns nearby, so our fans come on the road with us, not with us, but they come support us on the road. And same thing when we have other teams in our barn, like Listowel, their fans will come over and cheer for them. So there's it's a great atmosphere to play in, and it's really exciting. It's a lot of fun.
There's good rivalries too, right? You know, Listowel and Elmira have played the last 2 years in the Cherry Cup final. We won't talk about the result, of course, because I don't think that's something we want to get into. But you're right, and that's what this is about. It's about small, I hate to use the word small town, but it's small town community hockey in some senses, and everybody supports you. And I think, you know, the community as a whole, whether it be the pancake breakfast in Elmira, the hat and mitten toss that they have, there's all kinds of different events throughout the season, and you guys do a great job as players as well of interacting with the fans and the kids, and I really think that helps grow the game. And I think in Elmira specifically, and I know it's a lot of other places as well, but in Elmira, it's a community-based team. And to be a Sugar King, you have to be accountable, and you have to be responsible, and you have to give back to the community. And I think that's part of what makes being a Sugar Kings player so incredible, right? Has that been your experience since you've been there?
Absolutely, Darren. You hit the nail on the head there. I mean, our team wouldn't be able to function if it wasn't for community support. There's a lot of guys behind the scenes that you don't see. You see the players and you see the coaches, and you can say, wow, the players did a great job tonight. the coaches are doing a really good job right now, but you don't see the people behind the scenes like our trainers and our executive team who take care of our fans while we're on the ice. And we have a great booster club too that gives us meals and makes sure we're ready to go. They feed us after our games and give us food for the road, and it's a group of people that's also forgotten a lot are the billets, and a lot of our guys do billet, and it's a home away from home, and that's half the battle for guys, right? Because they're going away from home, and for a lot of guys, their first time away from home, and they don't know what to expect. So great billet families are imperative, and in Elmira, we have a great set of billet families, and they take care of us real well, and they make us comfortable here in Elmira, and we get settled in, and it feels like I'm at home while I'm here.
It makes such a huge difference, doesn't it, when you're comfortable in the place that you're at off the ice. You're all good hockey players. You're all playing for the Sugar Kings for a reason. But you're right, that community spirit, to be honest with you, Damian, is I think maybe the best way to put it, that you guys are university students, a lot of you, or some of you are high school. You got a social life, you've got it's really, really, really busy. And to have that billet family there to support you, I don't think you can say enough about what those billets do. And you're right, they're often, I think, in my opinion, undervalued in the support that they provide for basically teenage hockey players that come in a lot of respects from out of town to play hockey in Elmira. Fair?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, it's a home away from home, and I feel at home here. I feel safe, and that's all you can ask for. And I have a place to stay, and I live with great people. Nathan and Linda Welch, they're awesome. They take care of me, and they've helped me get comfortable in the community, and that's all you can ask for. It's amazing.
How's your leadership role going? You got the captaincy. You were named that during the preseason there. You got the C on your chest this year. How's that going for you? Do you feel like your leadership style is working for the team? I guess the answer is yes, given the fact that you're 4-1 so far this year. But how have you adapted to the captain's role, and how's that going for you, Damian?
It's kind of tough, right? There's guys that have been on the team longer than me, so I just kind of look back, and Jeff Jordan was a captain here last year, so I just kind of remember things he was doing, and it's my first time being a captain. So there was a little bit of a transition, and there's some things that you have to do as a captain that you don't do when you're just a regular player on a team, right? There's responsibilities you have to take, and you got to take the good. You got to take the good with the bad. So yeah, it's been a little bit. I've had to get used to it, but I'm enjoying it so far, and I think the guys like me too, which is great.
For more highlights, visit our website, 519sportsonline.ca. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.